I think one of the most important things that I've learned is for financial success, whatever that means. I don't even know what that means. But, you kind of understand what I'm talking about. Um, you got to be willing to just be content. Like, be able to be okay with yourself at any given moment and not worry about what other people are thinking, like all that basic human stuff. Really goes against a lot of those basic human feelings that we think about often, where we make these sort of comparison games, or things like jealousy, or all of those emotions that you go through. The key thing, at least for me, maybe I'm weird, but I don't think so. The key thing is learning how to practice being as content as I possibly can at any given moment, and saying, you know, it's gonna be okay. And reminding yourself it's gonna be okay at any given moment repeatedly. And I know that seems like it's silly to think that, but almost all of the moments where I don't feel good, that it's just, I didn't sort of make quote unquote the right choice. I don't know what the heck that means. But um, you know, the basic story is always when I've felt very emotional about something, and I haven't been able to just take a step forward and realize, you know what, like, A, uh, my actions are not going to make that much of a difference. And I'm going to get all hot and bothered. Or B, I'm going to get myself into a situation that is not going to be favorable, right? Like, even if other people are upset about things, you can't really change them once they're upset about things. They kind of dig in their heels, and you're sitting there and you're thinking, like, oh my gosh, like, this is ridiculous. We're kind of both going, but we're both spiraling out of control. But if you take a step back and I know that this sounds really terrible, but you just ignore it. Like, ignore them, ignore the situation, because you can't fix it, right? Like, that's ultimately, at the end of the day, you can't fix it. You're going to come into the situation a lot better by just kind of ignoring the situation, right? Like, taking a step back and realize it's not my problem, and practicing that it's not your problem, learning how to just be like, I'm okay with who I am at this moment, really helps yourself and helps you make better decisions, whatever that means. I don't even know what that means, but allows you to, I think, make wiser choices. And when you're able to just not care so much, I know it's kind of like, it's a lofty thing, but it's very important. Learning how to just not care about the situation, about what's going on, is a critically important part of doing well in your life, right? That's really basic. In order to do well, you got to save, you got to spend a little bit, and you have to give a little bit. And, the saving part's very easy. I think people overthink this too much. 15% of everything they make, 10% of everything they make, whatever that number is. You get some life insurance. If you've got kids and dependents, clearly you have health insurance, that cover those basic things. And then the rest of it, you got to learn how to just be content. Like, just be like, okay, I'm okay with anything that happens. I'm going to be okay. And I'm going to walk forward with who I am at a given moment. Um, and I want you to sort of remember this repeatedly. is, even on those days, it's not feeling great. Like last night, I did not sleep well. It was one of those terrible nights. But, I'm tired. I'm miserable. And I want to go curl up in the corner and cry. Um, but, right, like I need to get some stuff done. And so when I realize this, I'm just going to be okay. I got to learn how to be somewhat more stoic today, right? Where I'm just going to be like, yeah, I'm just going to take steps forward. It's not going to feel good. That's okay. And I think the more that you practice this, where you just simply say, I'm going to be okay, and I'm going to walk forward. Can detach from much of the situation, much of the context of your life. You'll be able to do a lot more in the long run. It's that careful, slow walking that's important. It's the steps forward. Sorry, again, I'm tired. It's those steps forward where you just keep taking steps forward. One little one little step at a time is incredibly important for all of us to do well. And I encourage you to do that in your life